Hello and welcome back. You are gaming with me, Brothgar. Today I have some more Loadout Weapon Crafting action coming your way. Today's recommendation comes from Shane Jensen, and he says, hey, I got a weapon suggestion that I use all the time. It's very basic, just a normal assault rifle with a light assault barrel and high magazine. It's very effective. Now, this actually got me thinking about doing a light assault rifle, Gatling versus assault barrel, and that kind of sort of thing, because I haven't touched a lot on the actual rifle side of Loadout, actually since it's gone into the actual release, but I've done it a lot back in beta, so there you have it. You guys have been telling me about it time and time again. Hey man, you gotta do some rifle stuff. So here it is. I'm actually going to be comparing about 3 different builds that you can do for under 4,000 Blutes. So if you happen to be a new player, this is actually going to be a pretty good tutorial of basically the new kind of cheap assault weapons that you can start off the game with for under 4,000 Blutes. So let's head on over into the weapon crafting section here and break these weapons down. Alright, so one thing I wanted to do real quick is actually compare the different builds. If we're talking about the assault barrel versus the light assault versus the Gatling and its different DPSs, when we're talking about the standard magazine, here's the list from top to bottom. So assault, light assault, and Gatling, you're actually talking about 85 damage per second. That then increases to 100 DPS when you put on a light assault barrel, and then that actually jumps up to 131 for the Gatling barrel. Now, this actually works out pretty good when you go and test it out in the test range. Now, when we actually put the high capacity magazine, your DPS drops from, let's say, 85 at the very beginning to 76, and from 100 to 90, and from 131 to 118. So there's some give and take there. Do you want to reload more, or do you want to be able to fire for longer before you reload? So it all kind of depends, and I actually have a loadout that is going to test that in an opposite direction that you might be thinking where I'm going. However, let's test this weapon out real quick and just compare the different barrels for anybody who hasn't really kind of broken down these barrels just yet. Alright, so in front of me is an NPC, and I have the assault barrel in hand with a standard magazine. This is basically the stock weapon that you start the game off with, and you'll notice we do 6 to 7 damage per bullet, and in total it really takes just it doesn't take many bullets at all. We're talking about, what was that, 14 or 16? I couldn't actually see and do the math that quickly. But yeah, there you have it, 16 bullets to down an enemy at that range, and as we jump back to the longer range, we'll see just how much that actually carries over. Still talking 6 or 7, so really we haven't dropped in DPS at all, and we're still talking about the same amount of bullets. We drop into the light assault barrel, and now we're actually talking about a difference in range. So from this range back here, the same range that the assault barrel was still effective, we're talking about 3-4 damage, so a significant difference in the actual damage doing, and then about the total bullets that it takes to down an enemy at this point is just about 25, depending on how many you actually hit and where you hit. Now, if we move a little bit closer, this weapon becomes a lot more effective. So we jump up into the 5s and 4s, and with a few 6s, and there you have it. We've used less bullets. So the light assault barrel is that compromise between Gatling and assault barrel, but it does suffer from limited range. Now, as we drop in the Gatling barrel here, we really just max out the DPS. This is definitely a close range weapon because the bullets tend to spread, because your accuracy goes down based on what your rifle is. So basically the assault is your most accurate, light assault is that happy medium, Gatling likes to spray and pray. But if you actually kind of aim it and are pretty effective with it, in this range to closer, it is very, very effective. You're talking about some pretty decent numbers. There's 6s and 5s, and the amount of bullets it actually took there was not too much, 23. Now the problem is though, when we actually move back farther, even though the bullets do actually carry their damage for a further distance than this light assault barrel, because it's kind of been tweaked here recently, the problem is that it's just so hard to actually hit the enemy. You do end up missing a lot of bullets just because that thing is kicking all around. Now you could technically put a dampening thing on there and kind of increase your accuracy and stability, and basically what your stability is doing at this point is just keep that weapon from kicking, but it's just not making that much of a difference. I'm sorry, I just don't feel like, if you're very new and you got to put your money into something, dampening is your cheapest option at 800 Blutes, but I don't feel like that should be your first stop. However, there are different ones. Shock absorbing you can put on there, or you can even put compact depending on what you're trying to do, which is going to give you a little bit more hip fire accuracy. However, today we're just going to be testing standard, but really this kind of build here, this is one weapon that I'm going to be using. And rather than actually put a high capacity magazine on it, which I will test here real quick, it allows you to actually shoot for a lot longer. I get basically twice as much fire time, and I could just down enemy after enemy after enemy at this kind of range, and it's pretty legitimately awesome. It is like a Gatling gun. However, I'm thinking I want to actually go with the standard magazine. It's more DPS, and I feel like that short reload time is going to help me out in those like close quarter matches. If I can make sure that I am actually aiming at the player rather than spraying and praying, I think I'm actually going to be able to stay in the fight longer. And that's because I'm actually pairing it with an assault barrel with a high capacity, which is like the inverted kind of end of it. And so what I'm actually kind of doing here, I'm actually flipping everything on your head. You might think high capacity Gatling, that makes a lot of sense, and then standard and assault because it's a low fire rate, but you're still doing a lot of damage. I'm actually flipping that concept on its head, and I'm going to see how that works in combination with each other. Basically because I want to be dropping big numbers like this at the enemy farther away. Now, in my experience, and this is where I'm kind of coming at it from a theoretical kind of point of view, if I'm chasing down an enemy or I have players that are farther away from me, I tend to shoot at them longer than when I'm closer. If I basically am expecting to shoot at them longer because it's a harder shot at farther distance, and I'm going to miss more than probably when I'm up closer and I'm really focusing on hitting the player. So that's my concept, and that's what I'm going to test out. And I'm also going to be testing Shane's weapon, which is the light assault barrel with the high capacity magazine. Now to me, this plus any other of those two rifles, either the Gatling or the assault, doesn't necessarily fit because it has that middle range, and you're either going to feel like, man, I should be using a Gatling barrel, or maybe I should be using an assault barrel. So you kind of, I feel like that is best matched with a different weapon, not another rifle. Unless we're talking about a sniper, or we're talking about a scatter, or some sort of unique weapon, not another assault weapon. Alright, so just in case my words ended up a complete pile of gibberish, because it is actually kind of a complicated kind of video to make 3 different weapons at the same time and explain them all, this is what my loadout looks like. I have Gat's Broth, which is that Gatling barrel I was talking about with the standard magazine, teamed up with the Broth 920, which is actually how many bullets it costs, which is your assault barrel with the high capacity magazine. Now I am testing Shane's weapon as well, which is the Broth, which is a light assault barrel with high capacity, and then I'm matching that up with new Broth 4.0 because I feel like that would actually be a pretty good combination to go with, because then you kind of have 2 weapons that are actually both high capacity. So I got a lot of bullets to throw down range, but then again I still feel like new Broth is going to be better. So let's head on over into some matches and see how this all works out. 4 points. Alright, so here we have it. We have Broth, Shane's weapon here, and then new Broth 4.0. I'm going to lead off with new Broth 4.0 here because it is a longer distance weapon here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Swap on over, a little bit closer. Did that do it? Nope, not quite there. There we go. 1 kill assist. Now one thing I have noticed using this weapon is that it definitely is having a hard time. I'm having a hard time connecting with it in general. See there, I'm just defaulting over to new Broth 4.0. Man, that guy did well. Got 2 of us just like that. How about that? But let's see how it actually works out. See, this is kind of what I'm talking about. A little bit harder to connect, but not too bad. It's hard to get the thing dialed in a little bit. You gotta remember, I am playing against people that have a lot more Blutes and upgrades to their weapons. And, you know, the stock gun you start with isn't the best gun in the game, but it is, you know, it's got its own thing, and it is usable, but I'm not going to say it's the best gun in the game. Oh, there it is, new Broth again. Trying to load down that damage enough, but not enough DPS to take down that player. See, now if I would have had the Gatling gun there, that would have been game over for him. So let's go ahead and try out the other weapon here, Broth 920 and then Gat's Broth. So we got the long range with lots of bullets here. So we're laying down some damage. Not doing a huge amount of damage. Yeah, come on. Right there, that's a decent range. There we go. Able to at least down the enemy. I think he actually burned to death. I don't really know. There it is. That's what it is. Turret goes down, no problem at all. And now I need to reload. 3.2 second reload on this rifle itself. No enemies to shoot at. Where's everybody at? Where's everybody at? Alright, here we go. Testing that range out. That's kind of a long range though for any assault rifle with a full auto on it. Here we go. Oh, nailing out that damage right there. That is a close quarter dominating weapon. Again, you got to be careful. You can't fire that weapon just freely. You only got 50 bullets. But it's working out. Come on, where you at? Where you at? Everybody's taking a lot of cover in this game, which I guess is how you should play it. Oh, oh, did not have enough to take that guy out. I was kind of charging at him. I did do a lot of damage though. All right, so far Gat's Broth is the most impressive to me, just because it is a weapon that you can use in close range, and that is effective. Come on, guy, get the vial. There you go. But we're gonna try Broth 920 real quick. Oh, it's definitely Gat's Broth range. Yeah, there we go. You gotta look for the elbow when you're using that weapon, though. You gotta look for the elbow because you're gonna be that close to the players. Again, it's gonna be kind of hard to see the real potential of these weapons, just because, you know, people have developed their weapons so much now, and I am playing at a level where people will be using higher ranked weapons. So let's switch on over to Gat's Broth and see if we can't do some close quarter ownage. There we go. That is actually working pretty good. I'm impressed with Gat's Broth. Actually, that wasn't Gat's Broth at all. That was Broth 920, wasn't it? Huh, how about that? So these two guns in combination with each other. I'm sorry, now I'm using Gat's Broth. See, I kind of lose track of which gun I'm on. There we go, Gat's Broth. Oh, man, that is brutal. That is brutal. I'm actually really quite impressed with that. And I knew I'd kind of be impressed with the amount of DPS that weapon was doing. But in general, 920 is not impressing me as much. I was able to down that guy, but that was because it was low health and their teammates are leaving vials all over the place. Let's go ahead and play another game to get... I need to get more of a consensus down as far as how I use this weapon and, you know, how it actually all works out here. Alright, so I felt like I needed to do another match here to kind of get a real consensus about these weapons. I'm going to switch on over to Gat's Broth and light these guys up. Yep. Oh, that guy survived by that much. Man, that weapon is absolutely brutal up close. That's what I like about it. It's meant to be brutal. But we have Broth 920, which is kind of the long range, a little bit extending that range out to where Gat's Broth wouldn't be effective. And that's the weapon that I'm a little bit, I don't know about. But then again, it is only 920 Blutes, so that's a pretty cheap price. But is it going to be better than Shane's weapon? Is it going to be better than Shane's weapon, which is not that much more, and it has the assault and still has high capacity? So basically what we're doing is we're comparing the assault barrel to the light assault. Heh, blocked that bullet, didn't I? Nope, nope. Oh, I just love that. Only 4 bullets left, but, you know, if you start thinking about it. There you go. Where are you going to run, bro? 920 laying down the damage. From a long distance out. Then again, he's got those Blutes going. Just able to squeak that one out. Alright, so my consensus on the 920 Broth is that for an assault weapon to be used at a longer range like that was a pretty extreme range. I just don't feel like it's all that effective. It's just, it could be more, it could be better. I mean, I'm thinking at that point, you're going to want to try something different. Maybe rockets is a better combination with it. Maybe a pulsar's better. Beam. You know, see, beam is just a really good option for a medium to long range weapon. So, I don't really see how 920 is really going to get my seal of approval. Definitely Gat's Broth, because you've seen how I've pwned with that so far. But let's see if I can't make 920 more effective. I'm just going to give it a few more shots here. And by that I mean I'm going to switch over to Gats. Rip him up! Yeah. Yeah. Where you at? Where you at? Oh, do come back. Where'd you go? 920? I'm just having a moment, guys. I'm really having a moment at this point. Only 19 bullets left. That was a good run. I'm satisfied with myself. Alright, so let's change loadout. It's a new Broth 4.0, and we're going to really look into Le Broth, Shane's weapon. Okay, so now we're rolling a faster attack speed. So I should be able to do some good damage right there. That was a pretty good distance. I'm running out of bullets, so we got to switch it up. Now I know I'm actually kind of focusing on kills a little bit more than I am flags. So I might be not doing all that well for my teammates, but at the point I'm actually kind of doing a good job of reviewing the weapons, which makes me feel good. So we have the new Broth 4.0. Of course, we know how well that weapon works. Very flexible, very awesome. You know, nearly perfect in every way. But Shane's weapon. Feeling like it's definitely a step up from the 920. 920 at longer range was just pretty much useless. And then at the close-up range, it just wasn't that much more effective. It was basically just the stock Nui weapon with something slapped on top of it. Bigger, more bullets. And to be honest, that's not what was wrong with the new weapon. It just didn't shoot fast enough. It's an assault rifle. You got to be able to put down the damage like this. And there you go. Down the enemy real nice. But it does give you some downrange ability here. Yeah, just like that. Able to lay that DPS down real good. So here's what I've felt about this weapon so far, besides burning to death and dying right there, is that this is a good secondary weapon. If you have something like a rocket or maybe a pulsar weapon like I have right now, it's a good kind of secondary weapon. See, now that, I should have downed the enemy there, but he's going to survive long enough to get his health back. So now I'm going to have to do all the hard work of taking him back down, but it looks like he's going to just give it to me, huh? Sorry, man, that's embarrassing right there. That's embarrassing. So I'm definitely liking the weapon, and for the price of, you know, the weapon itself, which is under 3,000 bullets, I believe, that is a very good first weapon, especially if you don't want to go all rifle. You want to actually level up a couple things like rockets and... What in the world are you doing? Come on, buddy. You need yourself a Le Broth. That's the second time you've killed yourself. Ouch. So yeah, that's how I feel about this weapon. It is definitely good for the price. However, depending on what your combination is, I would kind of recommend looking into Gat's Broth. Then again, you could probably put a high capacity on that and be a little bit more flexible than reload time. But, you know, that just kind of depends on how you want to develop your skill. You know, if you're not a very good shot right off the bat there up close, you're probably going to want to put the higher capacity on as opposed to the reload time. But it all is going to kind of shake out in the end. Woo! Oh yeah. Connection. Alright, so we gotta focus on these flags. I'm not doing a very good job of that. Or am I? Oh yeah, I guess I am. Come on, team! Yeah! I can't see anything! But you're dead. Oh! Not enough health to take out another enemy. So that's my consensus. It's a good weapon, it's a cheap weapon, but it's a good cheap weapon. There you have it. Gat's Broth for the win. Just about as expensive. You pick. You decide. But I'm going to be sticking with New Broth 4.0. Because that's my thing. No! That's why. That's why I stick with it. So satisfying. Look at this. We're capturing all of them. Are we going to make a comeback? Are we going to do this? Oh, here we go. Here we go. It is on. Yes! Oh! We captured it. Now we're losing 8. Bummer. I thought we were going to hold all of them there again. I am actually loving this new mode. What is it? Domination? Yes. I believe it's Domination. It's just sweet. It's a really good mode. It's like changed the game for me. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, you swapped out. You like drew another player. Uh-oh. You're close to me. Come on! Whoa! Rocket jumper. Rocket jumper. Rocket jumper. Come on now. Come on. Where you at? Where you at? Oh! I see you jumping. I see you jumping. Oh! Oh! That elbow should have hit. Oh! That was so close. That was so close. Oh man, this is getting intense. I gotta focus. I'm getting a little weird on you guys. I have been trying to record this video all night and haven't had any good luck until now. So I'm really excited about like having good luck. But we didn't end up winning the match. We did have a good comeback at the end there. And there you have it. That's my consensus. Gat's Broth, absolutely awesome. Broth 920, yeah, you know, move on past it. Go for Beam or something. And then Le Broth is a good kind of middle of the ground. Kind of depends on what you want to do. It's very flexible, has a little bit more range. So thanks for the recommendation. If you have a weapon build that you want me to try, make sure to leave it in the comments below, and I'll make sure to give it a shot if I have the Blutes to do it. Also, if you leave a like on the way out, that's going to help me support my content, and thank you very much if you enjoyed this video, and you know whatnot. The comment section is below, and if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to hit that sub button on the way out, because I do this stuff on a regular basis. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace. Brothgar out. Straight up beam weapon. Able to do some damage. He's got some health out of it, though. Nice, I'm able to swap right between these, no problem at all. I'm in a very dangerous spot. Yep! Oh, that's alright, I was able to defend it there. Gonna swap back over to Twin Broth. This is actually working out really good. Quick, quick, quick! Yeah, no problem at all. I can constantly fire with this current setup. I feel like if I shoot